Hey guys, I'm here to watch Sunday Night Heat replays like we planned. Is anybody even here?
We're all here, Mayor Aaron, and for good reason.
Okay, and what exactly is the reason?
This, Mayor Aaron, is an intervention. Have a seat.
Yeah, I have no idea what that word even means, but I'm definitely here to support you, Mayor Aaron.
Okay, an intervention? For me? What could y'all possibly be worried about? I'm wholesome AF.
We are worried about all the time you're spending with your new big shots, Rhea Ripley. Yeah, it's getting weird. Like, really weird.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Y'all staged an intervention because you're worried about me and my new buddy, Rhea?
I'm here so I don't get fined. Same. But we are a little worried about you.
Why? Wait. Boss Daddy, how can you be worried? You legit helped film a commercial for me and my new buddy, Rhea Ripley. Wait, what? Would you look at that? I seem to have lost track of time. I need to go do some, boss daddy things. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Busy. That's me all the time. See y'all later.
We feel like it's not healthy to devote so much time and attention to a stuffed wrestling buddy.
Wow. And let me get this straight. This is coming from action figures that I brought to life using the magic cabinet. Really?
Yes, but we're your family, and family needs to step in when someone is going down a bad path. Plus, I watched you lose over 400 games of rock, paper, scissors to her. That's just not healthy.
Listen to yourself. Not healthy. Psh. Listen, this Rhea Big Shots is awesome. And me? I'm pretty awesome too. So us together is awesomer.
This is a waste of time. I knew it. How about we work on a compromise to make all of us feel better? Maybe spend a day without Rhea.
Okay. Fine. One day without my Rhea Ripley buddy.
Very good, Mayor Aaron. I'm proud of you. And how are you going to spend the day without the Rhea Ripley?
Ooh. I think I'll know what I'll do today. Yes, I'm going to review the brand new Raw Real Scale ring with somebody.
With who?
With the Rhea Ripley Ultimate Edition figure. I love this suggestion. Thank you. I better get started.
Rhea Ripley is running Mayor Aaron's life. He's like a Wish.com version of Dirty Dom.
Hey y'all, welcome to LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. Now before we get started, I just want to remind you to please hit subscribe to get a first look at all future women's wrestling figure reviews and women's wrestling figure related videos. Now today I am super excited for this unique review for LumberJillville. This is only the second time I've reviewed a real authentic scale ring, but on top of that we have a Rhea Ripley Ultimate Edition figure. Now I will start off by saying this was an idiotic move by Mattel to make the only way to get this Rhea Ultimate included with the ring. People complain about the women's figures not selling. Maybe Mattel does, maybe they don't. But the one women's Ultimate that would be a hot seller, you have to buy the ring to get it. It grinds my gears. But either way, I am excited to have a new ring, a WWE one especially, for fig photography. So with that being said, let's open this up, see what's inside, and I think we'll probably get started on reviewing the Rhea Ultimate. I'm super stoked. Alright, so this packaging is huge. It's not as wide as I thought it would be, but it's definitely a hefty box here, so you can tell there's a lot inside. Now, what I did is I just cut the end open. I cut the end open with some tape, and that's how I'm going to try to slide everything out. Now, I'd like to start with the figure, so hopefully the Ultimate Edition figure will be near this side. So you just cut the tape on the sides and open it up here. We have some instructions, which we will build the ring on this video later on. And then, oh, there's the figure. Oh, okay. It's a bit underwhelming, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't gotten an Ultimate Edition scale ring that comes with Ultimate Edition figures. I don't know if this is normal for them just to come in this little chintzy box, but that's a little disappointing, to be honest with you. That's pretty cheap. I was hoping it'd be in an actual Ultimate Edition box, because wasn't the New Gen Arena, that Doink and the Diesel, they were in actual boxes, so why did Rhea get put in this budget box? Well, let's just dive into the figure. Let's start off by taking a closer look at this packaging. So let's start off talking about this packaging, and this packaging is absolutely terrible for an Ultimate Edition. When you pay $140 for a ring in an Ultimate Edition, you expect the Ultimate Edition to be in an actual Ultimate Edition style package, but this is just a box. I believe the Eric Bischoff Ultimate Edition that came with that real scale ring was also in a windowless box like this, so I get that it's probably cost cutting, and also it reduces the amount of plastic in the packaging, so it is what it is, but this just confirms to me that I don't need to add a second one to my collection. I open up and review everything and display it, but I like to have the figures I love, a one or two extra, you know, one MOC, one to pose, and this one I'm just going to stick with this, because I don't think this figure in this packaging is worth trying to hunt down MOC, because you don't know what it looks like until you open it up, if that makes sense. So, yeah, looking at this packaging, the one positive I will say is I love the figure photography that the Ultimate Edition packaging displays, and that's what this is on the front. We have the World Women's Championship there with Rhea. I cannot wait to see what that looks like inside here. On the side, we have the beautiful and stunning and talented Rhea. On the other side, we have her name, and then we have this little... It's the Ultimate Edition WWE extra figure that collectors have always wanted. So yeah, if collectors have always wanted it, then why don't you give it to us in the regular line? Anyway... Now moving down, we have an image of Mommy in action, and also another fig photography image of Mommy, which is really cool. We have a little bio on the side, and then a little blurb there. So yeah, this packaging is underwhelming, but the figure itself is what matters to me. That's what I'm going to be reviewing. Now, just to compare it to Ultimate Edition style packaging, I mean, look. The Ultimate Edition packaging is arguably the best. I think AEW still takes the cake for the best wrestling figure packaging out there, but the Ultimate Edition packaging is just beautiful. It's gorgeous, and I love the huge open window. You can see what's inside. Now, this box, we're going to call it a mystery box, because we're not sure what is inside it. So let's find out. So I'm really hoping everything is in here. So I don't even think there's tape. There's not even tape closing it, so that's a thing. So that just pops open, and then here's the figure. So I'm really excited to review this, so let's take a closer look. WWE Ultimate Edition Rhea Ripley. This attire is from the December 11th, 2023 edition of Raw from Cleveland, Ohio. On this night, Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley would defeat Maxine Dupree in a dominant effort. Yes, you heard that right. This attire is from a squash match with Maxine Dupree on a Raw, which is a bizarre choice, a bizarre match to choose to make a Rhea in Ultimate Edition Foreman. Now, to be honest with you, the attire is amazing. It's beautiful, and I did do a lot of research, and a lot of her attire is very similar, but from head to toe, the bottoms, the top, everything is spot on to that squash match against Maxine, so I do think that's what this is from. Weird match choice, but the attire itself is really, really cool, and I think that's why they did it. So, either way, having the figure out of the packaging, this figure looks freaking awesome. But remember, this is an Ultimate Edition figure, and if you just look at everything we get with this figure, minus the ring, we don't get Ultimate Edition level accessories, I guess you could say. All we get is an extra head, 2 extra hands, and a title belt. And that to me is disappointing. This looks like, if you didn't see the butterfly joints, this looks like an Elite figure with the accessories that the Elite comes with. There's just not a whole lot here to qualify it as an Ultimate Edition, but the figure itself looks great, and obviously what really stands out, what really makes this figure awesome, is this Women's World Championship for the first time ever. Let's zoom in. And this championship is absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. There's so much sculpted detail in this, so much intricate paint application. We even have the custom side plates that say Rhea Ripley. Super, super cool. And yes, it is scaled down to fit the female figures better. They recently did that a year or so ago, scaling down the women's championship to make them look better on the females. And this is in that smaller scale, just to show it with the SmackDown World Championship. With Rhea side plates came out with Elite 110. That is in that smaller scale as well. It scales perfectly. So yes, it is in that smaller scale. So it looks awesome with the female figures. And the quality of this title itself is really, really cool. I mean, all the little sculpting work. It says World Champion in like a silver type text. We have little silver studs painted on the side, and I think there's little silver studs throughout this design. So this belt, it's beautiful. It might be my favorite besides the SmackDown Glow Championship that came with that Naomi. I absolutely love that women's championship, but this is right there with it because this is beautiful. I could see this fetching a lot of money online because right now this is the only way to get this title. And unfortunately, you got to buy a whole ring and an Ultimate Rhea to get it. But yeah, this title is awesome. I can't wait to get it in the Elite line in the future. It's beautiful. They did amazing work. So she comes with a set of fist hands and a set of semi-open hands. And there's nice tattoo detail on them, which is really, really cool. And the alternate head we will cover in a couple segments. So let's start off by looking at the head that is on the figure when we took it out of the package. Happy Mommy! This is Happy Mommy. This is the Happy Mommy head. So yeah, I think it's another bizarre choice to have a sad expression and then a happy one. I wish they had like an aggressive one or a yelling one or something because I don't know anyone that's going to display it with this. I think they were trying to go with an arrogant, smug look, but she just looks sad. She looks so sad. It makes me sad for her. But here, this looks pretty good. I think, once again, they put a lot of detail in the sculpting itself and the paint application. Now, I do have a bit of silver for some reason on the part of the black that is not supposed to be there. And that's the one complaint I can have is if you buy this figure MOC on eBay or even if they sell them separately on Ringside, if you buy it MOC, you don't know at all what the scan is going to look like, how it's going to be printed on. Now, I got lucky. I think mine are printed on pretty good, but I could have gone without that silver blotch in the hair, to be honest with you. So, other than that, though, I mean, I think the sculpting work is top-notch. I think the ability of them to sculpt her facial features into figure form is beautiful. I think they did an excellent job here with the sculpt, and the scanning has a lot of detail here, as I mentioned in the eyes, the eyelashes, the eyebrow with the little shade, the lips. Really, really cool here. Now, the hair sculpt is the same. I'm looking here. It is the same as the other head, so it would have been nice to have maybe a different, like, more tousled hair sculpt, but as far as I can tell, the hair sculpt is the same on both heads. So, yeah, I think the likeness is great on both scans and sculpts on both heads. But I really wish that they chose some different expressions. I'm okay with the smiling mommy. The happy mommy's good with me. But the other one, she just looks sad. And that's just not a good head sculpt to choose. It should have been more aggressive or something. All right, so let's cover the attire and the body sculpt. Now, the body sculpt was the biggest topic of discussion when they first showed images of this figure because it looked weird, it looked off. I think the camera angle that they took the photo, and I think another thing attributed to how weird it looked, and I think that was this belt piece in that image was way up here. And when it's way up here, everything below it looks super, super long, like Kermit the Frog type deal, right? So I think that was their mistake. Now, when you push it down to the waist and midsection, it does look a lot more in scale. It looks a lot better. But I will say that this midsection piece is really, really short. It does look a little bizarre. And I say that because when we move this upper chest piece here, it almost touches that joint at the waist, and I've never seen that in a women's figure. So yeah, I feel like that midsection is a little short. I think it is a little undersized, a little compressed down, I guess you could say. It should be a little bit longer. But either way, let's move into the attire itself because there's a lot of beautiful sculpted detail. So right off the bat, we have the mommy choker. It's a choker that says mommy, and I think the mommy's actually sculpted on. There's like really good details here that I don't pick up on camera, like little stitch seams and whatnot. That choker is amazing. Now the top is also beautifully sculpted, unique chest piece, unique everything in the upper body here for Rhea because we have butterfly joints, y'all. And I'll cover articulation later, but Asuka was the first WWE women's figure to have butterfly joints in the Ultimate Edition 20. And I'm so glad that Rhea got butterfly joints because it really does make a big difference in posability and all of that. But yeah, back to the attire. The upper body, as I mentioned, has a unique sculpted attire with so much detail here. Even the pattern of her top, the little silver studs are painted on very nicely, and they are raised up and sculpted. Even the buckles are sculpted. Turning it around, that midsection in the top piece has a lot of sculpted detail to show like the leather type pattern. These patterns are all sculpted. The zipper is even sculpted. The midsection, as I've talked about, has a lot of sculpting work as well. A lot of unique detail there. We even have buckles and studs raised once again. Even some wrinkles molded into it, which is awesome. Now, this midsection belt piece is a really, really cool piece. But as I mentioned, when you get this figure, make sure you push it down. Push it down. Because when it's sitting way up, it looks bizarre. Makes the figure look weird. And moving it down, the figure still looks maybe a little bit off in the midsection there. But either way, it looks a lot better. So make sure you push that down. Now, this belt has a lot of sculpted details. We have the buckles and even the little loops are all painted in an intricate silver, and they are sculpted. What's really, really cool is we have this purple bandana piece on her belt, and I don't think it's removable. It is not. Do not try to remove this. It is attached to that belt. So that is such a cool little detail. And hey, that bandana has a lot of intricate paint application there. It looks awesome. Now that's bizarre. Looking at the back of her bottoms, we have like an identification number. So that's something. But yeah, looking at the bottoms, it is just a paint design. And that is something I wish was sculpted, because if you look at the images of what it looked like, it did have like a glossier type finish, so I wish it stood out a little bit more. Maybe it's because I'm colorblind, but that purple kind of blends into the black a little bit too much there. But we have some wings that look pretty good, and on the back, those wings come around. We have the fishnet pattern painted on, and that looks awesome. It really does look good, especially with all the tattoo detail underneath. And then her boots are just a plain black. Now let's cover tattoo detail. So obviously her legs have a lot of tattoo detail. I'm not going to cover every one. I'm just going to show you underneath the fishnet pattern. The tattoos look excellent there. It's kind of weird that joint isn't covered up at all. Anyway, on her right arm, we have a forearm tattoo. It looks really, really good. And on her left arm, we have so much tattoo detail, not just in her arms and her forearms and her tricep, but also in her hand. And it is important to note that her other hands do have tattoo detail where they should be. So that's really, really cool. So yeah, as far as the attire goes, I think the attire is amazing, close to a 10 out of 10. But I do feel like the body sculpt is a little bit off in my opinion. And I think that's due to that midsection piece being so short. It's kind of bizarre. Side by side mommy time. Let's do a little comparison. So on the left we have Elite Series 110, and on the right we have the Ultimate Edition Rhea. Now which one do I think is better? I mean, I think the Ultimate Edition Rhea right now is the best Rhea. I think it's better than Elite 110 because the black attire with the purple, it's more iconic. You know, this white is kind of a one-off type appearance, even with her hair slicked back. It's not the true mommy look, right? It's really cool that we got it in figure form, but it isn't as iconic as the all-dark look. So I think for that reason alone, the Ultimate Edition is the best Rhea on the market. Now, I do think the upcoming Elite looks freaking fantastic. I think it looks better than the Ultimate, honestly, but we'll get to that later when it comes out. But yeah, as you can see, what I'm talking about with that midsection, it's really, really short and compressed on this Rhea, and I think it's because they might have made her legs a little too long in the Ultimate Edition, and to make her not a giant, because she's not a giant by any means, believe it or not. I think she's listed as 5'7", 5'7", 5'6", but I think to make up for her legs being so long, they made the torso scrunch down, because, see what I'm saying here? When we look close, you look at this rotating chest piece, right? This has a long torso going into that rotating hip joint, and here we have about half that. I mean, look at the midsection here. It's very short, and yeah, it's just bizarre scaling all around. Now, I think the body sculpt and the overall aesthetic of Rhea does get portrayed better with the Elite 110 because I do think that Ultimate Edition, especially looking at next to this Rhea, the legs might be a little too long, and I definitely think that midsection is a problem. So it does look a little weird. However, you display it with the Women's World Championship, I think it's a great Rhea, and I think it's a placeholder for that upcoming Elite Rhea, because I'm telling you, that upcoming Rhea Elite, I'm not sure what series, it looks amazing. So I do think if you're going to have one Rhea in your collection, you do get the Ultimate Edition just to display with this championship. But I think you should probably wait for the upcoming Elite, because this Ultimate Edition is going to get pricey. Let's cover articulation here. The head can move pretty good here. It is a little limited because of the hair sculpt and also the choker necklace. The arm can move in all different directions on the shoulder. And on top of that, we have butterfly joints. Butterfly joints are so good because we can horizontally adduct and abduct back. So this is going to be great for figure photography. I cannot wait to do figure photography with this figure. It looks really cool. We have an upper bicep swivel. We have double jointed elbows that can really flex. We have a wrist that can rotate, also extend and flex. We have this upper torso swivel, can go in all different directions. We have a waist swivel. The hip, okay, we got drop down hips, y'all. We got drop down hips. Now, I'm always afraid of breaking these drop down hips. So, as you can see, this is normal, and this is drop down. Now, when they're dropped down, we have a little bit more movement. So, I don't know. I haven't messed with drop down hips too much. So I don't know if it really does enhance the posability that much, especially for the women's figures. But it's cool that this figure has that. Now let's try to get that hip back in the socket there. But yeah, that's cool. Okay, that's a good little feature. We have an upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees. We have an upper boot swivel. We have feet that can rock back and forth, up and down. And then why, oh why, Mattel, do we have the drop foot toe joint? Get rid of this, please. This toe joint is absolutely worthless. I can't stand it. But yeah, the articulation is top notch. Now, before we unbox this, I am going to say at the end of this video, when the ring is built, we're going to put Rhea in the middle, and I'm going to give it an overall score. So I will give her a score at the end of this video, but I really want to build this ring and let my mind ponder on what score I'm going to give that Rhea Ultimate Edition. So as you can see, there's a lot in here. I mean, this box is heavy. So here in this bag, I guess I'll open it. Oh my goodness. Okay, here in this bag, we got ropes. We got freaking cloth turnbuckles. Holy crap. I'm actually blown away by that. Okay, so that's good. We have stairs. It's nice that it appears to be one piece. So that is nice. Let's see what else we got. Oh, there's so many little bags. This might take me all day to build. What is this? What is this? It's like a magic trick. Now here we have... Okay, that looks like the canvas. It looks like the canvas here. So we're going to set all this to the side because I have a feeling this build will not be as easy as the AEW ring. And then, oh my goodness. So that is super freaking cool. This is my first WWE authentic real scale ring. And we have wooden boards for the base of the mat, it looks like. That is super, super cool. So let's get those out of the box there. Let's see what this box brings us. This looks like the ring apron, I believe. And this is going to be... I'm a little intimidated because I haven't built many rings. So yeah, that looks like it's going to be the... take this tape off here. The sides of the ring there. So very, very cool. And then let's get all this cardboard out of the way as I keep hitting the camera. And then here, alright, so this is probably going to be the base support, I would guess. I'm definitely going to be using the instructions on this one, guys, because I don't know what the freak I'm doing. Alright, so, you know what, we're just going to rip this open because I'm not going to resell this. I'm not going to put it back in the package. Once this baby's built, I'm going to start doing figure photography more often in LumberJillville. So let me get everything out and let's start the build. All right, so the first step here is just putting these support beams in the right order. And as you can say, A1, A2, B1, B2, and it's a repeated pattern. Where you see the letters and the numbers are right there. So it's a nice pattern here. Now let's try to snap them together, which is all you gotta do. But holy moly, this is not coming apart once I build it, I'll tell you that much, because this is very intricate, but really cool. Alright, we got the base built, baby. Next up, step 2, we gotta put them floorboards on, dog. So let's put the floorboards on. So it looks like they snap, but I'm gonna set them down first. Oh, that's nice. Nice secure snapping there. Secure snapping. The kind of snapping we all want in life. What? Okay, there's that. Alright, so let me get you a little up close. So there's holes in the canvas that you have to stretch over and pull it over those hooks like that. And you just got to do that all the way around. Holy moly, guys, I'm almost working up a sweat. So yeah, you pull the fabric over and fasten them all the way around. But that fits nice and snug. Alright, next step, we put in these little posts here. The small post just along the border of the ring. Now we put the larger post in the middle of the ring. Okay, we got the ring flipped over. Now we're going to loop the ring skirt into the post, it looks like. So as you can see, we have ring skirts. We also have the hard paneling, but this is just the steps just for the ring skirt. Let's back up a little bit. Okay, and it looks like you loop it on the inside of these posts here. Holy. Okay, that was the most difficult task so far, getting these loops around the inside of the poles. So what you want to do next from the pictures, you put these posts in, like, it clips on there and it goes down in, nice and a snag. Man, this thing's freaking cool, dude. Okay. So, once again, it snaps and then jip. Oh. What have I done? Next up, we plug in the ring panels. Now, the ring panels have like clips that'll clip to the support beams that are positioned right nicely like that. So that works really well. Now I'm going to do the other side. So this next part makes me happy because that's one of the worst parts of the AEW rings is all the ropes and turnbuckles and all that. But these look relatively easy to put on. So they're put in a knot, but you just let them go like Elsa. Untie them here. And then you attach them. Alright, so the way that the ropes and turnbuckles work is one rope has all 4 turnbuckles attached to it, which is nice. It's going to help it not get so tangled. So basically you attach one corner and work your way around. Make sure you don't have the Miz logo showing. So let's get close. And it just hooks up and down. And you do that all the way around here. And here it is, the real scale Raw ring. It might be a little outdated from what's on TV now, but it is my first WWE real scale ring, so I cannot wait to do figure photography with this once a week. Look on Instagram, look on the YouTube channel. I'm going to try to do fig photography every single week with this ring because I love it. Really, really cool. What really stands out is this ring apron, is this bluish gray fabric. Very nice quality. We have these ring aprons on the side. 2 sides are cloth. You can put wrestlers, weapons under there, whatever. The posts are nice and sturdy with a flat top for posing. The turnbuckles are a soft fabric. Now, the ropes do come pre-installed with the turnbuckles, so that's the only thing is I don't know if there's a way to tighten the ropes. I'm sure I can find a way, but I do want the ropes a little tighter because I do a lot of my poses using the ropes. Now, the sides that are hard are very nice, but yeah, this ring is freaking awesome. Now, let's get to the Rhea Ultimate and score it. So, overall, I give the Ultimate Edition Rhea Ripley an overall score of an 8 out of 10. This figure has a lot of good to it, but there's a lot of head-scratching decisions. So, the good. I think the face likenesses are great. I think the attire is beautiful, not only in sculpting, but appearance. I think the inclusion of the Women's World Championship is stunning. They did a great job on that belt. Now, the negatives. I still think that midsection is too short and the legs a little too long, so I think the proportions and scaling is a little all over the place, which is disappointing. Also, this is an Ultimate Edition figure, and we didn't really get a whole lot of extra goodies with this figure, and that's disappointing. Another thing is I feel like the scans on both of my heads, there's a happy and a sad. I wish there was an aggressive one or a heel smug look, which might have been what they were going for with the sad sculpt. But either way, I think they fall short a little bit. So that's why it's an 8 out of 10. Now, is this an excellent Rhea figure? Yeah. It might be the best Rhea Ripley figure out there right now, so I would definitely try to get this. However, if you're not willing to spend the money to get the ring or to get this Ultimate by itself, I would wait until that upcoming Elite. I'm not sure what series, but the upcoming Rhea Elite looks freaking fantastic. But yeah, this figure's cool, but it does fall short in some categories. Thanks for stopping by LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. To get a first look at all future women's wrestling figure reviews and women's wrestling figure related content, make sure to hit subscribe and become an official resident of LJV today. Also, head on over to ringsidecollectibles.com and use discount code LJV at checkout to save 10% on your next order of women's wrestling figures. Stay tuned, the AEW Sky Blue will be the next review in LJV. Thanks for watching and have a great night, y'all.